Hey, so today I want to talk to you about this book, The Hidden Persuaders by Vance Packard. Now, this is a book that was written in 1957. This is not a first edition, but it is on my shelf. And thank God it is available on Internet Archive. So go to internet.org, you can find it. You can also get it very, very cheaply secondhand online, or you can find a PDF version. Now, the reason I've got this book out is because a couple of days ago, I made a post about the multi-million ADHD advertising on TikTok. I don't know if this is happening on other platforms, but I imagine it is also happening on other platforms. And it suddenly, rang a bell, and it got me to go to my shelf and take out this book. And why this book is so important in the history of advertising is because this was the first book ever written exposing what modern psychology was doing and how it was being used to advertise to consumers and to sell products in a rather sinister way, which we still have now, even more. And I'm going to read you right at the back some, the little blurb at the back of the book, so you get an idea, and give you some examples in the book, and you'll see how that matches what's going on right now in pushing or selling, really, advertising mental health problems, literally advertising people with propaganda to get them to change their mind and believe that they have a mental health problems, because this is what's happening right now. It's literally selling the idea that anything you have or you feel or anything you go through in life that's a little bit negative or that's, normal, as in human, because we all go through ups and downs and live through life, that is part of being human. But this is very subtly being continuously changed and advertised as something abnormal, for which you need some sort of diagnosis or label and drug. So here's what it says here. Now, keep in mind, this is 1957. It says, it was Vance Packard who introduced the world to the depth manipulators. Even in the 50s, he claims shoppers were constantly led astray by the advertisers' attempts to seek out their innermost needs and fears, overcome their resistance, and mold the minds of the countless child consumers. The advertising industry's ambiguous promises and claims to relieve anxiety may have been unfamiliar, but they were still astonishingly effective. Yet since then, as a startling epilogue makes clear, the persuaders have become infinitely more sophisticated, using voice analysts and brain specialists, subliminal seductions and sexual commands to sell their products and keep us all hooked. The persuaders, in other words, have tried to invade the privacy of our own minds. Packard's classic book is both a passionate plea for our right to our privacy and a fascinating guided tour of a strange and sinister world. I love this bit here about the invasion of the privacy of our minds. This is 1957, and right now we're having, how much more is it an invasion of the privacy of one's mind, pushing mental health, pushing abnormality in being human, and turning that into a condition. If you remember, I feature this in many posts. This is a diagnostic and statistical manual of mental disorders. This is the latest edition. This is the Bible of psychiatrists with which they diagnose people. There's no science in it. The conditions in there are voted into existence. They actually are voted. This is true. You can go and check it out. I have done a post on it. I can do one again. There's no scientific basis. It's literally voted in committees. And ADHD was also voted into existence. Before ADHD, it was actually called ADD, attention deficit disorder. Anyway, the point is, it's all in that book. So being human is classified in that book as a mental disorder. And here we have the advertising machine of how it all works to twist the minds and convince people that there's something wrong with them. So I want to give some examples because it's so interesting and it's definitely worth a read. Here you go. The Psycho-Seduction of Children, Chapter 15. And it's got a very good quote here. Today, the future occupation of all Muppets is to be skilled consumers. And already here it's discussing what they're doing with the children. In the grade schools throughout America are nearly 23 million young girls and boys. These children eat food, wear out clothes, use soap. They are consumers today and will be the buyers of tomorrow. Here is a vast market for your products. Sell these children on your brand name and they will insist that their parents buy no other. Anyway, there's loads. There's a section here on the built-in sexual overtone, a fantastic quote at the start. Infatuation with one's own body is an infantile trait that persists in many an adult's subconscious. The ethics of exploiting it to sell goods are something else. And it goes on, talks about a subliminal messaging done through the radio and television and much more. But what's wonderful about it is the fact that that was already exposed back in the 50s. And now we're in 2025, 75 years have passed, and the advertising machine is stronger than ever. But we need to realize that, because at the moment it's not just consumer goods, it's actually the minds of mankind which is being accessed in a rather sinister way, and this we really have to do something about. So get familiar with that book, it will be worth it.